Hey guys, Furry Path of Pain here. I'm testing out my Metalphosis or Metalpfoes deck. Had to edit my deck since Italy got hit to 1. I am facing a Machina Fortress deck using some of the new gadget cards. Now, the deck was interesting, but I managed to outplay it, and in the end I ended up winning. So here we go. Now, I decided to go second after winning the rock, paper, scissors game. Can't really do anything here. I had a feeling he had something to get rid of my back row or my pendulum areas, but I just didn't bother with it. Now, what I do here is I set this, I normal that because of, I normal which because of the Metalphosis pendulum effects. And it just spreads the deck out a little bit even more. Or however, basically, it makes the deck a little smoother, especially with the first few turns. Now, I'm about to be fully set up, or I'm about to get set up anyway. And this is what happens. I banish this, activate that, supposed to summon this and that. I believe I end up popping Volflame and Gold River. Oh, no, I ended up popping Volflame and Steel Run, which I guess was the smarter of the two options. I then banished counter again to get Steel Run back. Went into Beals, and then I just set a few cards. This Ojama Trio helped me with stalling the game a little bit more. Made the opponent have to think and ended up making them pass their turn and misplay. I end up special summoning 3 monsters from my grave, which would be Cravons, Serene, and Kuras, and also into a commander. Now, I don't end up using Psychic Commander or using it for the Synchro Summon, but I do end up going into a Cyphering Omega, I think it's called. But I end up popping Witch and getting the free 2 draws and the supposed to summon on the opponent's turn again. End up banishing another Steel Wren and adding a Steel Wren to my hand for Omega, yeah. And then on the opponent's standby phase, I end up using Omega to return one of the counters to my grave and just wait. I believe I go into Hyper Psychic Blaster, yep. And then on my opponent's turn, he ends up Dark Holing, while I believe I also have another monster on the field. Oh no, it's not his next turn, it's my next turn, if I'm not mistaken. He goes Twin Twister and discards one of those. Ends up popping my Phosis and counter. There goes the Dark Hole. I end up chaining Omega so I don't lose it. I don't worry about Beals because it doesn't get destroyed by battle or card effects. I don't end up using Twister because I was gonna try and bait Machina Fortress into using its effect because I end up going into Big Eye or 101 Big Eye. I think it's 101, right? Well, you'll find out. end up trying to pop his Forbidden Lance, but he chains it and targets Feels. I say, you know what, doesn't matter anyway. I go for Soul Bird on the Pendulum, and then I just start comboing and go off. Because I'm pretty much already done. Now, you've probably noticed that most of my duels end up ending around turn 8. That's because that's how I've constructed my decks to work. Now, I was going to go into a 3K beater, but I guess this could also work. So that would be 200. Let's bring up the calculator for this. This would be 200 plus 28 plus 2200 plus 2600 plus, yeah, that's already game. So I would have won that by couple thousand points. Anyway, hope you liked it. I will be coming back with the deck list in a moment. Hey guys, I'm back. Here is the deck list. Now, with Italy going to 1, I ended up having to think about how to make the deck better. And all I came up with was I needed more draw power. And what is one of the best ways to get draw power with a Metalphosis deck? Destroying your cards and then drawing them. That's why I went to Cures. Now, I've seen several people use Cures in other decks, like I think they used it in Frames at one point. I didn't. I vowed to never touch Cures, but it's a decent card. It's pretty good. It runs well in the deck, and it combos well too. As you can see, I did go off. I do use 3 Volt Flame, 3 River, 3 Soul Bird, 3 Steel Run, and 2 Kuriz. I use 2 Serene Psychic Witch for the standby phase combos, and Commander for those tight plays when there's almost enough damage to OTK the opponent, but not quite. And then Hushed for adding stuff to the graveyard for combination and special summoning stuff like Volflame or one of my other destroyed psychics like Omega. And then that goes and continues and just refreshes or unbanishes counter. I use 1 Kribons for the stalling Beals play. I use 1 Psychic Jumper for some of the stealing plays, like when I want to switch Witch, or let's say a Steel Run in attack mode with one of my opponent's stronger monsters, or weaker monsters, or a tuner monster, or whatever. So I would do that. I use Raigeki. I don't use Dark Hole in this deck. I find it's a little counterproductive. Soul Charge comes in handy. 3 Fusion, 1 Summoner's Art. I did have 2, but I had to take 1 out for the other Cures. 2 Twin Twister, 1 E-Telly, 2 Drama Trio. It helps shut down the opponent's side of the field, and along with the double piercing from Aura Hulk, it does quite a bit. 3 counter, 2 Sandstorm Mirror Forces, because the opponent can't flip their monsters back over unless it's a card effect, and also double piercing. And then I run 3 Metalpfoes combinations. For the extra deck, I run Cardinal at 2, or Hulk at 3, and then I only run 1 Adamante. I'll probably replace Adamante with one of the newer fusions that's going to be released later. I run 1 Blaster for the piercing and the life point regain. Feels for the the first few turns of the duel to just kind of stall and get the cards I need. Omega to recycle the banished cards. Zeta for some of those peskier monsters. Barkion, because I can go into Barkion, but not very often. Behemoth is also a very decent card that I use every so often, as well as Horus, which I was tempted to use Horus, but then I thought of a better card to use, such as Big Eye. With having Curious, I also thought I needed a rank 6 monster, so I started looking around, and I found this guy. Now, this isn't OCG, and I don't know if this is out yet, but it seems like a pretty good card for this deck. For the side deck, it's 3 Poisonous Winds for Magic Specters or any other wind type deck that special summons. For Monarchs, for Cosmo or Psyframes, if I do use Psyframes. Light Imprisoning Mirror for not Psyframes, but Cosmo slash Lightsworns, I believe. This is for the Burning Abyss and the PK Fire decks. PK Fire is an annoying deck for me too. This is anti Psyframe fodder or whatever. Comes in handy. Anyway, this is the Psi-Cycle OTK deck. It's very efficient. It works wonders. Can't really do much else with it. I mean, it's a wonderful deck. I mean, leave your opinions in the comments below and let me know if you think it's good for the gimmick that it does. Anyway, Fairy Path of Pain out.